Well, good morning. Hi, I'm Linda Hunt. Welcome to the Marketplace Connection. Well, good morning. Good morning to you out there in the radio land. And we thank you so much for listening and waiting. We just had a little technical difficulties this morning, but we are here and we are glad to be here to welcome you. Go tell a neighbor, tell a friend that the Marketplace Connection is on the air, and this broadcast is just for you. We have a wonderful guest this morning that we are going to be talking to, so please stay with us. We have a wonderful guest that has done a lot of things in the business world, and we know that this broadcast is for those of you that are outside of the four walls of the church that are looking for ways to utilize your gift, and this person has utilized her gift to the glory of God in an unusual way. And so the theme of our broadcast today is always wear an invisible crown. And this person has a crown that she has been crowned a physical crown, but yet and still she wears an invisible crown all the time. And so we thank God for her life, Christian Joy Alexander. And we're going to be talking about how you can be possibly in pageants and giving you information about pageants. She has been a recipient of the Mrs. Michigan in 2012. She has been a recipient of that award. She has been in other pageants and been contestants. She is also a judge and a recruiter for the pageants, and we'll talk about some of the different pageants that she is a judge and a recruiter for at this particular time. So we just want you to stay tuned for the moments that we have and listen to the broadcast and the information that we have for you. And I thank God for Christian Joy Alexander for your life, and she's just so beautiful and radiant, and we just thank God for you, and we thank God for how God is using you. She is also a businesswoman. She's a devoted wife and a mother. She is so busy, I don't know how she can keep up with herself. And so we thank you, Christian, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and speak to our listening audience today. Praise God for your life.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes. So we're going to jump right into some of the things that you're doing. I know you have a lot of upcoming events. And so just tell us a little bit about how you got into the pageantry and how you got into, competition and all of that. What was your motivation for that?
As a little girl, I always watched the pageants growing up on TV. It was an annual thing. Never thought I'd actually be on that stage, but I went to U of M, and part of going to U of M, there was a survey that they did to follow African American students. And a lady would follow me, come to my house every year.
Okay.
And for the fifth year, she finally said, "I'm so happy that we're done with the survey. Now I can talk with you on a personal level." And she followed my life from being a mother and a student and a wife, and said, "You would be a perfect candidate for a Mrs. pageant." And I'm like, "What is a Mrs. pageant?"
Right.
And so she took me.
Never heard
took me
of
and
it.
saw one real life. You think that you only see it on TV. It's in California or it's in Florida or New York. But they actually have them locally in each state. So I actually went and watched, and that was where it helped me to believe and see just that tangible aspect of it. So
Wow.
That started. This is back in 2008 when all this happened.
Okay. So you started in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and you won your title in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So you
it took
stayed
some
with
time.
it.
I stayed with it.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't about just even winning the actual crown.
Uh-huh.
It was more so it became a physical journey for me, a
Okay.
growth and development. And that
Okay.
helped me to measure my growth each year. After the first year when I didn't win, I'm like, "Okay, Lord, I'm pretty." But he tried to tell me it's not just about being pretty. It is more to it. And he wanted me to learn and help me find myself. So actually, pageantry helped me define who I am today.
Okay. So
So-
it gave you purpose. And
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So after the first set of comments I got from my judges, they critique you and tell you what you need to work on. And for me, definitely it was public speaking. It was getting more involved in the community. At that time, I wasn't too much involved. I was still like in school and working with my family and being a mom and wife and just regular work. Nothing really more out in the community. So they were looking for an all-around woman that was doing things in the community, balancing work, balancing life, and just those ingredients to get to that title. So I decided to take on that challenge and to get myself more involved in the community and do things that can better myself as far as lifestyle, eating better, living better, things like that. Just you think you got it, but when you get out in front of people, they tell you, "No, you don't have it yet." And
Right.
it's like, oh, it's a reality check. So
Right.
for me, it became a personal challenge and a personal thing. So
Yeah, so it just made you a well-rounded individual. And that's what God wants for us and for our
Yes.
life. He wants us to be well-rounded. He wants us to be balanced. And so things like this, we have to involve ourselves in some things outside of, the four walls of the church, or even
Yes.
in our own business life, in our own busy personal life. And we have to involve ourselves to improve ourselves. And so
Exactly.
that's what life is all about. It's a
Yes.
journey. It's
It
not
is
a
a journey.
destination. It's a journey. And once we start that journey, it's all about being the best that you can be.
That's right.
And learning who you are and being the best at it. Nobody can beat you being better at yourself than you can.
That's right.
All right. So right now you have a passion for helping women. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
That again has always been a part of my life. Growing up, my mother was that example for me. She was always involved in Women's Aglow ministries and different things in the
Okay.
community back in Ohio,
Okay.
and that's just how I've lived my life. So for me, it's just who I am. It's just always I'm always trying to help people and serve
Okay.
others. It's never about me. It's about
Okay.
everybody else. So for me, that's just a natural part of my personality.
Okay. Now you have a business, this EBG. Tell us what is the EBG? Is that some of the ways that you help women? And you,
Yes.
Okay.
EBG is a business that I co-founded with my partner Michelle Shelton back
Right.
in 2004,
Uh-huh.
and it stands for Empowering Brilliant Generations. And what that means is, and we just believe that the generations, from the younger kids to the older people, that we have something we can give to other people. And so what we do year-round events that help empower women and equip them with the skill to establish wealth. So for me, it's just like I'll find somebody and it's like someone who does jewelry or they're doing hair, and they're not making money off of it. They're not doing anything with that gift or that hobby. And so we encourage women to give them the things they need to do better and make money off of that natural talent or
right.
that gift.
That's right.
And so we host networking events. We host pamper parties, just different things to get the women together and expose and give them the opportunity to better their businesses too. So that's what we do with Empowering Brilliant Generations.
Okay. Do you have any upcoming events with the EBG
Yes,
coming
in
up?
May we'll be hosting another women's conference.
Okay.
We
Where
do
is that
that. That will be in Troy, Michigan.
Okay.
Details will be announced when we get the finalized information on that. But usually in May,
Okay.
we'll host that at the Troy Community Center. Will be
Okay.
our next event.
Can you tell them, where they can get in touch with you or your website if they
For
wanted more
EBG,
information?
yes, our website is www.ebgstyle.com, and that's EBGSTYLE.com. And all
Okay.
the information is posted on our website.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So you hold the crown for Mrs. Michigan, United States, 2012.
That's correct.
And tell us how you got started in that, particular pageant.
Again, so there are different pageant systems and different divisions. And for my division, as a married woman, you had to be married to be in this competition. So that one, again, it's a United States program. There's
Okay.
USA and there's America. So I want to make sure there's a
Okay.
distinction between each different system. And
Okay.
they all have different quality categories that you have to do to compete in them.
Okay.
So, but that one is the one I started out in 2008, 2009. Didn't win, came back. Didn't win the next year, but keep coming back.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
in 2010, I actually competed for the Mrs. Michigan America and actually came first runner-up.
Okay.
So it's just been a progression. So the
Okay.
Mrs. Michigan United States program has definitely opened up doors for me
Okay.
and for other women. And
Okay.
it's my job to help just spread the awareness about that program. Because not too many people actually know about it unless you're already in the pageant world.
Okay.
So my goal is to bring awareness to everyday people about the opportunities that are out there involved with pageantry.
Now, where are they usually held? Is it certain places or are they held in different locations?
They are held in different places. Particularly mine was in Trenton at that time. And we now have a new director we've done it at the Michigan Women International Show in Novi, Michigan. So the local pageants they change every year.
Okay.
But the state pageants are always held in like Muskegon, Michigan. So when I actually go to compete for Mrs. Michigan or the state is in Muskegon.
Okay. So if someone wanted to get involved in any of the pageants, I mean, is there a site or something that they can go to?
Well, you can go online and Google
Okay.
pageants, and a lot of them will come up. You kind of got to know what you're looking for in a pageant. You can
Okay.
kind of Google, if you want one that's for talent, one that's more community service, one that is national. My pageant in particular that I hold the title for right here, it is a national.
Let's show this to our listening audience here.
There's
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's my
Yes,
sash.
yes.
And
Yes.
got the rhinestones on it.
Oh,
and got the year
wow.
and
Very gorgeous. Yes.
So I keep it at home in my curio cabinet.
Yes, I
But-
know. And your crown.
And my crown, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so for this one, again, someone told me about it, so that's how I was able to stay up on this pageant.
Okay.
But you can go to Google and type in Michigan pageants, and they'll come up with a different variety of
Okay.
them. There's the Miss Michigan America, there's United States, there's USA, and all of them have different divisions and different categories.
Okay. So what would you tell the listening audience, the preparation? Tell us how you think that a person can best prepare for a pageant.
So for me, I did kind of go in blind. That's why it took me so long to actually eventually achieve winning the title. And so my goal now is to help other women and give them the resources they need to actually be better prepared.
Okay.
There weren't many workshops back then when I was competing for married women. And so I take that as being an official recruiter now, I make sure that I provide workshops and things that girls need to prepare. I took what I learned from my experiences to make and
Okay.
use that for what I'm doing now to help other
Okay.
people. So definitely with public speaking, I encourage young ladies to join with Toastmasters. Toastmasters International helps with the impromptu speaking and just better all overall speech presentation. So that is definitely crucial for interviewing because some pageants, the interviewing competition is probably 50% of
Public speaking.
and 50% of the actual winning the title. You know,
Okay.
it has more weight than the evening gown or the swimsuit competition.
Okay.
You know, so I definitely tell you ladies to get involved in school. You know, try to join your speech team, your debate team, or come to our workshops where we help bring these people in to you to help them train. There's also the physical aspect of it, eating healthy, living right. You know, I had to change drinking a lot of pop and I drink more water. You know, make sure my body was so my skin could be radiant and beautiful.
Right,
So I had
right.
to just change how I was actually eating. And actually, for me, it was the best thing I could have done because had I not had that challenge to get into a swimsuit at that time, I would have just been complacent and comfortable where I was. But it's just a lifestyle change, literally.
Okay.
So being conscious of what you're eating, you know, taking time to work out. You know, it wasn't like a major thing where I had to go to the gym every day. I worked out in my house. I couldn't afford to at the time to go to the gym, get a membership. So I did what I could at home.
Okay.
You know, and it worked. You
Okay.
know.
Okay.
And then the other thing is kind of really understanding like who you are, because winning a pageant really is about your personality shining on stage. So it's not about you trying to look like someone else. It is finding the outfits that make you look good. It's going to make you be happy, so that when you're on stage, you're confident and you shine. So and I learned like in my first year, people were kind of putting me in gowns and I wasn't comfortable in it. But you look good in this. So when I'm out there, I'm not happy because I'm like, I don't like red, and I'm in a red dress. So me, you know, mentally, I wasn't there.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I really
Too
encourage girls
self-conscious.
to
Yeah.
speak up for who they are and what they like, because that, at the end of the day, that makes all the difference in your performance
true.
on the stage.
That's true.
You know, so
Yes.
we bring these workshops to these young ladies to help them find themselves, know what they want, and prepare them to be better on stage.
Okay.
You know.
So public speaking is one component. What else?
Lifestyle fitness,
Lifestyle fitness.
on stage questions,
Okay. All right.
private interviews,
Okay.
and the evening gown competition.
Okay.
And that's what I do for my pageants. Now, some pageants are different. They may not have a swimsuit. They may have a modeling competition, or
Okay.
they may have strictly public speaking competition. So each one is different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay. No, talent is
America system has talent. USA doesn't. And that's the difference between those two pageant systems. A huge
Okay.
difference. And I actually chose to go into the USA. I actually directed for the America program for 2 years. But for me, I felt the reach could be better in a system that didn't have to be limited to talent only. Because everyone can't sing and dance.
right.
And I wanted to make sure that I reached women no matter what, you know, their talent was or wasn't. So
Okay.
the USA system is why I chose to do that, because it
Because
gives
you
me
didn't
more
have to-
freedoms
Okay.
and more creativity to reach out to these young women.
Okay, all right. So tell us about do you have an event that's coming up? The Metro Detroit presents Pageants Modeling Pageant Clinic.
Yes.
And that is April the 16th?
Yes, that's the first of many sessions that we have coming out. So we're hosting a series of confidence clinics. That's what we're calling them this year. So our first one will be April 16th.
Okay.
And this one's actually going to be in Waterford, Michigan.
Okay.
I host 3 pageants a year. And so as I get ready for each pageant, I try to change the venues close to where the pageants are. So my first pageant is going to be in Oakland County. And so our first clinic is going to be in Oakland County.
Okay.
And we have Miss Michigan coming and Miss Michigan team that will be there. We partnered this year with a lot of agencies now that want to help out and be a part. So the public speaking people, Toastmasters will be there.
Okay.
We have entertainment and talent agency that's going to be coming to help out with the modeling techniques and training young women on how to model, how to have stage presence, how to pose. So, and then we got a photographer coming do headshots. So we're trying to equip these girls and give them what they need to be ready for their next pageant. Or
Okay.
if it's not a pageant, it could be for modeling, So we want to make sure that what we provide is not strictly just pageants either. So
Okay. So for the Miss Teen USA 2016, what are the age groups for teenagers? So in case there's some young woman out there listening that would be interested in the possibility of entering into a pageant, what are some of the
Right.
age groups?
So for the Miss Michigan USA program, you have to be 14 by the upcoming January.
Okay.
So we prepare for the following year's title. So this year, if you want to compete, you have to be 14 by January 1st of 2017,
Okay.
all the way up to 18 years old.
Okay.
And then the next category is 19 through 26.
Okay.
And their cutoff limit is 26 years old
26 for the teens.
for the Miss. So
For
the
the
teens
Miss.
is 14 through 18,
Okay.
and the Miss is 19 through 26.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And then with the other divisions, depending on what it is, if it's a Ms. or a Mrs. or a senior, it goes by age.
Okay. So the Mrs. pageant, what is the age groups for
Well, you have to be at least, I think, 21 years old and married for at least 2 years. So there are other stipulations with the married program versus being a Miss or a teen.
that? Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
you
Is
go
there an
online.
age limit cutoff?
No, there's no age limit
Oh,
cutoff.
All right, ladies, you hear
You
that?
can be married, you can be 80 years old and married
All
and
right.
still compete.
All
But
right
we also
now.
have the senior divisions too. So
Really?
seniors, you have to be 55 and older, to compete. And I'm
Wow.
telling you, I like watching those pageants because you see some seasoned women that are up there talking knowledge and wisdom that they're giving back to the audience. So I'm really, I
Wow.
enjoy watching those pageants. So,
All right.
I got some of my mentors out here that I know some of you guys can go and just dominate
All
on that
right.
stage. So keep
Give
that
them
in
your
mind.
website one more time and your number
Absolutely.
or wherever they can reach you or get information. Give them that one more
Yeah,
time.
so
That's exciting.
our website is www.metrodetroitpageants.com.
Okay.
And so you can reach us on that website. All the information is there. There are links to the different programs that we have. And I'm also on Instagram, Mrs. Michigan 2012. I'm on Facebook at Christian Joy. And
Okay.
so I'm all over the place. So y'all will be able to find me somewhere or somehow. And
Okay.
I got my phone number is 313-433-8930. I have an open door. You can call, text anytime.
All right. So tell us a little bit of how you mix, since this is a broadcast for those that are in the four walls of the church and looking for different things that possibly their gifts, their talents that they're not utilizing, and being in the marketplace. And you're a marketplace minister. You know, a lot of people go, I don't minister. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Wherever you are, whatever sphere, whether it's government, whether it's in media, or whether it's in entertainment, you are there because God placed you there. So tell us how you get a chance to mix your faith, with what you're doing in the business world.
And for me, I don't even call it mixing my faith. I actually just stand in. It's just being who I am. And that's
Okay.
what we're supposed to be.
That's
So
right.
I just try to make sure that everything I do, I operate, and I just believe that I give my gifts to God, and that it's glorifying His name. So, every time I come in touch with a young lady or a woman who's interested, for me, that's my ministry. It's my opportunity to talk about bettering your life and bettering yourself, and it's being an example. So for me, it is being me.
Yeah.
I have no problem letting everybody know I'm Christian Joy. I'm a Christian. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Just like it or don't.
That's
This is-
right.
Take it
That's
or leave it.
That's it.
So,
That's your
you
faith.
know,
That's your belief. And
yeah, some
that's what you
people know
stand
where
on.
I stand at. It's just evident in my walk, my talk.
That's right.
There's no compromise in my faith. It's
Amen.
just about living it with integrity and transparency. So for me, again, it's more than just mixing it. It's just being it.
That's it.
Being who
That's
you're
it.
supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And people will see that light shining through you.
Absolutely.
People will see it. And
Right.
sometimes wherever I go, it's like, what's that about you? It's just like, you know what? That's the Holy Spirit. That's just the grace of
Mm-hmm. right.
God that's for me.
That's
So
it.
I'll be so excited to tell them, hey,
Right.
that's just who I am. But
That's
at the end of
right.
the day, I give God all the honor and the glory.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And I can see it in you. That's
Thank
right.
you.
The light of Christ in
That's
you.
right.
And if you have it, it will shine. You don't have to beat anybody over the head. You don't have to preach preach to them.
You don't.
Just love on them
That's
and
right.
just allow the light of Christ to shine through you. And people can get healed. They can get delivered.
That's right.
And, come and, just like you said, come and say to you, it's something different about you. And it is.
I get that a lot. I really do. And I just take pride in that, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like anyone else. I'm
That's
just trying
right.
to be
Be
what
you.
God has called me to be and what
That's
to do. And
right.
I'm still trying every day to
Absolutely.
you're still finding
Improve
yourself and
ourselves.
better yourself, right?
Yes.
No one's arrived.
That's right. That's right.
So it's always about just being better, doing better
Absolutely.
every day. Take one day at a time, and that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. Well, that's a wonderful thing. Is there a cost involved in any of these pageants? What kind of cost is involved?
So on the state level, because the state is a higher level, it does cost more, and those can range anywhere between $800 all the way to $1,500 to $2,000.
Really?
So when I competed, that was a huge thing for me. So what I did for my pageants that are local, that
Okay.
are feeders into the Miss Michigan USA program, I kept that price point in mind. So my pageants are only $150. Girls can make layaway payments. You can
Okay.
get scholarships. You can go out there and get sponsorships. And what we
Okay.
do in our workshops, we talk about teaching you guys financial empowerment. We talk to them about how you can go out and market yourself, and these costs be little to nothing to you if you do it right. So these workshops empower these young ladies to have confidence in what they're doing. So they'll go out there, get their resume, get their picture. They go and say, "This is what I'm doing. Would you be interested in sponsoring me to be a part of this pageant?" So girls can get sponsorships to be in the pageant, but mine are only $150.
Wow.
Again, so you can make installments, make arrangements. So we try to keep them on the low cost, the low end, and they have months to pay.
Okay.
We begin to market 4 or 5 months in advance
Okay.
for our programs.
Okay.
So again, we have one coming up in May for Oakland County residents, and then our Detroit one, which I'm excited this year. We're going to have it on the Princess Boat this year. So that's going to be a added value, added element this year to the Detroit
Okay.
pageant because I really want to bring it home and have it in the city of Detroit. So
All right.
I'm excited about that one.
Great place to have it.
That's right.
Yes. All right. So we don't have much time, but we're going to have Kristen back. We
I'll
got to have her
definitely be
back
back.
again.
I'll be
yeah.
back.
So you're a recruiter now. So,
Yes.
And you've been doing that for how long?
This is probably my 4th year recruiting for Miss Michigan USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if someone wanted to be a judge, is there a way that they can be
Absolutely. Again, on my website, there's even a link to how you can become a judge. But typically, we try to have 5 to 6 judges, and we ask that they be in the different industries. So whether it's communications, whether it's beauty, fitness, and then we always have a new person that has nothing to do with anything about pageantry. A neutral person, we always have to ask. So sometimes I seek out judges, and others will ask me. So it really is. We do train. We provide training for the judges, so they're aware. 3 to 4 weeks, they have all the information, what to look for. We show them videos of previous judging and how to judge the young ladies. So, what we ask them is, what would you look for in somebody to represent your state? We ask them to be honest and open, and don't go and look for the typical beauty queen girl.
Right.
We really want them to find that personality, find
Right.
someone who's going to promote the event, promote the pageant, but be a good representative for our city and our area.
Right. Well, amen. Well, this has been a joy having you here, Christian Joy.
Thank you, Linda.
And we definitely will have, more opportunities to have her back again. And I hope to be a judge at one. I already told her that I want her
have
I
you.
want to be a judge at one of
You
the
are going to
competition.
be.
I would love to be able to do that. And so I thank God for you, my listening audience. And as again, this is just another opportunity to allow you to see how people are being used in the marketplace. And we want you to know that no matter what the opposition, no matter what you are facing in life, that you can do it. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And so we want you to be encouraged. We want you to listen up again. Again, we do apologize for some of the difficulties we had this morning, but we are here, and we want you to know we're here for you. So we want you to have a great weekend, and we will see you again on the Marketplace Connection. Have a great day, and you can do it. Yes, you can.
Amen.